Gentleman is recognized.
Thank the gentleman. Mr. Speaker, I co-authored this resolution with Rob Andrews as a call to action for the safety of the Baha'i faithful. Never have followers of a more peaceful or gentle creed faced a more cruel and unjust tormentor. Founded in the mid-19th century in Persia, the Baha'i faith now extends to every country, including our own. But its faithful are most numerous in the place of its origin, now the modern-day Iran. The European Parliament has spoken out on this issue, and so we now add our voice as supporters of international human rights and the home of many Baha'i faithful here in America. We have looked at a terrible situation unfolding in Iran. While Iranian Baha'is have suffered for many decades, their repression has grown significantly in the past few years. In 2006, Iran's Armed Forces Command Headquarters ordered their Ministry of Information and the Revolutionary Guard and the police to identify all members of the Baha'i faith in Iran and to begin to monitor their activities. That same year, we saw the largest roundup of Baha'is. The Iranian Interior Ministry ordered provincial officials to cautiously and carefully monitor and then begin to manage all Baha'i activities. The Central Security Office of Iran's Ministry of Science, Research, and Technology ordered 81 Iranian universities to expel any student discovered of being a Baha'i. In 2007, the situation worsened. More than two-thirds of Baha'is enrolled in universities were expelled once they were identified. Police entered Baha'i homes and businesses to collect details on family members. 25 industries were ordered to deny licenses to Baha'is, and employers were pressured to fire Baha'i employees in banks and were told to refuse loans to Baha'i-owned businesses. As we heard before, Baha'i cemeteries were also destroyed. Now, in November of 2007, 3 Baha'i youths, Ms. Rahat Sabet, Mr. Sasan Takva, and Ms. Haleh Ruhi, were all detained for educating underprivileged children. They were later sentenced to 4 years in prison for this offense. The following month, the Iranian Parliament published a draft Islamic penal code requiring the death penalty for all apostates, a term that strictly applies to Baha'is and anyone who converts away from rigid Islam. On May 14, 2008, 7 members of the Baha'i National Coordinating Group were arrested. This is reminiscent of a mass disappearance and assumed murder of all members of the National Spiritual Assembly of Baha'is in Iran back in August of 1980. The 7 arrested in May are still being held without any charge or access to attorneys. In just the last 2 weeks, a number of Baha'i families were targeted with acts of arson. This is government-sponsored persecution, and we in the Congress should not be silent as Iran sets up the mechanism to ethnically cleanse its Baha'i minority, totaling over 250,000 human beings. This bipartisan resolution, which I introduced with Congressman Andrews, condemns the government of Iran for its persistent repression of Baha'is and lack of due process afforded to this minority. Our resolution calls upon Iran to immediately release 3 Baha'i youths and to reject the draft Islamic penal code requiring the death penalty for all apostates. Mr. Speaker, my district is also home to the headquarters of the North American Assembly of Baha'is. The son of the faith's founder laid the cornerstone on the Baha'i Temple in Wilmette, Illinois, now basically a de facto symbol of the North Shore and our commitment to diversity and tolerance. Would that this view be shared by the Iranian government. For the life of me, I do not understand why they attack Baha'is. The Baha'i faith teaches that Moses and Jesus and Muhammad are all respected teachers who added to the faith of our times. The Baha'is embody acceptance and tolerance and accommodation. They have a faith which renders them incapable of being a threat to a government. So it is up to us to speak for them. It's up to us to hold up a mirror to the Iranian government to show it as a vicious and cruel state. We have seen this movie before, but they have worn other uniforms in other countries. It is my hope that we can make this call to action. To join with the European Parliament, we can help change the ending of this. Hundreds of thousands of Baha'is may one day be able to sleep well in future days, knowing that the great democracies from across the seas in Europe and America watch over them. I urge the adoption of this Kirk Andrews resolution and mightily thank the chairman of the committee, Ms. Ross Lightnin, and the chairman of the subcommittee, Ms. Chabot, for help bringing this before America's Parliament and calling real attention to help avert what could be a new crime of the century. And yield back.
Gentleman yields back. Gentleman from California.